Hello, 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 you lot. So, I want you to imagine something. This is Bank Holiday Monday, a lovely Bank Holiday Monday, and I am going to test that YEESSS 897 that I just got. But I want you to imagine a nice hill somewhere with a lovely view. Great. You imagining it? Great. So this is what I've got. There's my antenna. I put it on the tripod just as I would do if I was on a nice hill somewhere. Coax is going along over to the radio. There it is on the battery, just as it would be. There we go. And I know I will point out, before a lot of you say, I will get the internal batteries. There's two of them that go inside there. I found a place that sells them. I will get some in due time. There is no rush. For now, that'll do just fine. I woke up this morning with all the intentions of going out to a lovely hill that I know of, but then I thought to myself, I really can't be bloody bothered. I just can't be bothered. So I thought to myself, well, I'll do the next best thing. I want to test that radio out. I've not tried it. I've not spoke to a single diggy bird on it yet. Apart from on 10 metres, I had a quick chat with a mate of mine, Frank. Lovely bloke, but he couldn't really hear me. Well, I couldn't really hear him either, which is strange. So anyway, I want to give that a test on 2 metres. I don't want to plug it into my 2 metre home base radio because it means I've got to pull out all that radio to get to the antenna thing. So I'm just going to do what I would do if I was out and about. Don't know if I'm going to be able to hear anybody, but it doesn't matter. So we can use this opportunity to play around with the radio as well. Now, I said in the last video that I have got somewhere the manual for an 897 because I've got a problem where if I come across a manual that I know is going to be quite rare, rather than risk it being taken off the internet, because it happens sometimes, you bookmark a page or something and you think, that's a handy page, I'll bookmark that, you know, that's difficult to come by, whatever it is. And when you want it, you go to the bookmark, 404 error, or the page is no longer available, or something like that, and you think, oh. So when I come across something that I think might disappear off the internet, that I might need in the future, I print it out. When it comes to manuals and that, I print them out. And this is how bad of a problem I've got. Watch this. I have got more. I've got another briefcase. I've got another briefcase. And I've got a whole plastic tub of manuals. But I think the one I'm after is probably going to be in here. So that's a manual for a T4 PM. I don't really think that's going to disappear, but Techno N48.2. It's just a manual for all that kind of stuff. Charger manuals. All right, so it's not there, is it? There is some more inside there. Yeah, I printed pages up and put them in folders. Right, we've got a band plan. God, what are all these? Look. I think it's in here. You know when you just think you know where something is? FT767 operating manual. That was a fantastic radio, and I'd done something a bit naughty and I didn't realise I'd done it. When I sold that radio, I forgot I had the actual original manual, and I sold it without it. It was a bit naughty, really. I like to keep manuals with radios when I sell them, but I forgot I had it, and yeah, so I've got a manual for an FT767 now. Lincoln Mark 1. When I come across that manual, I thought I'm going to have to print that off because I might not ever come across it again with the radios going funny. But then I have got an original one in here somewhere. The LDG tuner manual. What else we got? 736R YEESSS. I've still got that radio. That's my home base radio. And when I found this manual on the internet, and I thought to myself, again, let's print it off. What's this one? YEESSS. The FT1900R. I've still got that as well. That was my out and about radio, you know, like what I'm doing now. That was that radio until I came across this 897. Now the reason, this 1900R is only 2 meters. I think it might do 77s. Does it do 77s? No, I think it's just 2 meters. I don't really know. But I wanted a HF set, didn't I? I wanted a shack in a box that does HF and 2 meters, so I only have to carry one radio around. You know what I mean? I haven't got to keep switching. Maybe it's first world problems, I don't know. But so I've still got this radio, and it's a lovely radio, and I've got an idea for it. It might go permanently in the camper van, maybe. Yeah, I've got a Lincoln Mark 1 manual that I didn't know I had. So when I printed off that other one, I've already got one, the original one. So anyway, happy days. What are we got here? 897. Everything we need should be in here. Japan. Copyright 2003. So yeah, happy days. Right, that's what we want. Let's put all this back. I've got to play around with this, see if I can make some of the buttons do what I want them to do. I was really hoping it was going to be in that briefcase. You know, when you think to yourself, right, because I sorted them all out, well, probably about a year ago. Oh no, yeah, maybe about a year ago. And a lot of the radio things I put in here, like the bound plan and those other manuals, I knew that were in there. And I thought to myself, right, if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be in there, because in the other boxes, they're manuals for different RC cars and transmitters and other stuff like that. And I thought to myself, if it's going to be anywhere, it's probably going to be in this box, in this briefcase. And I'm blooming glad it was. Right, let's put it all away. Right, bloody sun's a bit annoying, really, to be honest. I've been playing around with it. I've managed to get it. Now, I've set the A and B switches to what I want them to do. Really, I wanted one to be RF power, but you can't. It doesn't seem that you can do that. They give you 17 set things what you can pick from, and that's that. Anyway, so we're on 2 meters, 145 500, and I haven't heard anybody yet. I've been, whereas it's a bank holiday Monday, I was thinking that there might be people about this morning. The time is 7:05 in the morning. I was thinking there might be people around, but G1HQQ, G1HQQ, Mike 6, X-Ray Sierra Zulu. I'll see if Frank's about, my old mate Frank. I'm not sure whether he is. I think he might be on holiday. I can't hear anybody. Let's... Doesn't seem to be anyone around there, does there? Right. Let me just be back in a minute. Hold on. Right. Let's have a look here then. CQ, CQ, CQ. This is Mike 6, X-Ray Sierra Zulu. Calling CQ on 2 and listening for any replies. Doesn't seem to be anyone there yet. What you haven't seen, or you probably, I've got to point this stuff out, you see, because I always get people comment, oh, you didn't do much, did you? I've been calling out CQ on 500 now for about 15-20 minutes. Now, you haven't seen all that because that would be incredibly boring. I've got to point this stuff out. It's obvious to me, but you get people say, you only called once. I know, that's the only call I blooming put in the video, but I've been doing it more than once. Anyway, I've got to point this stuff out because, I don't know, it's obviously not obvious to other people as it is to me. Anyway, let's have another call. CQ, CQ, CQ. This is Mike 6, X-Ray Sierra Zulu, calling CQ on 2 and waiting for any replies. No one around. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll come back this evening. There might be people on the net. There might be a net. I don't know what there is. There might be a net or something around here. I don't really know what's around. I don't really go on that often in the evening anymore. I used to. Not so much now. Anyway, I'm going to play around with this instruction manual a little bit more. And try and work out how to do some of the other stuff. Because the trouble is, there's so many blooming menus. Yeah, I want it so really. I've got VFO A and B, but if I press it, it goes to bloody 5. I don't want it on 5. I want it on 145 for 2 meters, and I know I have to go back to it. I thought, see, it goes to M tune. I don't want bloody M tune. I want it to switch to VFOs, and I know I've split it. I don't want to split, but it doesn't go back. Oh, it does go back. How do I know what VFO I'm on though? Because it says, see, look, it's bloody confusing. It's a lovely radio, this 897, but why can't they just have a few buttons to do things? Why does it have to be blooming menus? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to work it out. I'll be back in a minute. Right, just, I know I said a minute earlier on, right, about if you see something that you think might disappear and you're after something like that and you think, oh, sometimes you have to make a decision. You just have to either, if it's a manual, just print the blooming thing off. You've got the copy of it then. It's not going to go anywhere unless you lose it. And sometimes if you see something for sale that you've been after for a while, you're not necessarily in that position at the moment. You're not like, oh, I'm not out to buy that right now, but I've been after one of them for blooming ages, and look, there's one there now. If you leave it, it won't go. And there's a good example. Look what I found. I was at a spring show yesterday, and this come up. This is a Diana Model 27. I know some of you might pronounce it Diana or whatever it blooming well is. I say it Diana, okay? The amount of people have corrected me over the years. I say Diana. And it's a fantastic little rifle. Model 27, made in Great Britain. I think some of them are made in Germany, I'm not entirely sure. There's no date code on this particular one. I was looking around, I was at the fair. It was underneath a, you know, like they have the gazebo with people that just sell bric-a-brac, you know, random bits and bobs. And I think he had about 7 rifles. And there was one, not this one, there was another one. It was ideal for my minions, for my daughter, because she can't, the ones I've got, the Wesley, wherever they are, Eclipse, that's too heavy for her. And you know, I thought, I'm going to get her a little junior rifle. When one comes up, I don't know about you, but I find them blooming difficult to get hold of. I've been to a few people where they've advertised them on the internet. I've gone and had a look, and they want silly money for them, and they're not worth that. They're battered up and everything. Oh, I don't want that. So I've said to myself, when one comes up, I'm going to just snap it up for her. And there was I don't know what it was. I didn't really get a chance to have a look. There was a little junior rifle, smaller than this one. Don't know what it was, as I said. Had a darker stock on it, darker wood. And I said to the woman, blah 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 blah. I said, right, I'll be back in about half an hour, because I was going to buy it. Anyway, come back. She'd sold it. I was like, oh well, that's a shame. So I had a look at these ones, and this one actually is ideal for my daughter. She could hold it perfectly fine. It's light enough. And when I see what it was, I thought, these are a pretty good gun. These are a pretty good rifle. This one, I'm not sure because it hasn't got a date code, but they did make them in the 1920s, all the way up to 1987, if my memory serves me correctly. They reckoned that this was a 1950s model. I don't know how they knew, perhaps the date code, because sometimes you can see the date code just above the wood here, but it doesn't seem to be there. There'll be those of you watching this maybe that know more about rifles than I do, but I reckon it's below the wood, so if I was to take it out and have a look, there might be a date code. Anyway, I'm not that interested in how old it is, although I am, because it's good bit of history and I love that kind of stuff. But the example is, the first one would have been better because it was even smaller than this one. As I say, I don't know what it was. I just looked at it, picked it up, thought that is a nice size, put it back, said I'll be back. Anyway, I wasn't really out to buy a rifle. I wasn't out to buy a rifle. But these are so hard to come by. For me at least, you know, I find them on the internet and they're either rubbish or they're all the way up north, and obviously they ain't going to post it to me. I have asked a few people, do you want to be a bit sneaky and post it? And that's probably not a good thing to do. Maybe you can post rifles, I don't really know. No one was up for posting a rifle. And all the gun shops, there's none around here anymore that sell these, and if they are selling them, they want stupid money for them. So I made a snap decision and I got that, and I'm bloody pleased I did it because it fires brilliantly. It's whoever sighted it in great. I've had cans and it's gone straight through them. So blooming good example. So we haven't really been out and had a proper go of it yet. That's just what I was playing around with down a bit of field yesterday after we bought it. And yeah, but a bloody nice rifle. I've cleaned it all up with a bit of gun oil, shined it all up, and the only thing is it's missing. There's obviously was something there, a little plaque or something. I don't really know. It looks like there was a little round plaque there. I don't know what should be there. I'm not all that clued up on these Dianas, to be honest with you, but I do know that they were quite respected, I suppose, back then. So I think it's a good one. But anyway, that's just an example, the way my head works. If you come across something that you've been looking for, because I've been looking for one of them for my daughter for years, a little one, you know, at a reasonable price. I know some of you are going to say, well, if you want one, you can go and get one anyway. Yeah, but if you're gonna pay stupid money, and if you're going to travel, yeah, I could have done. I could have gone up north and paid a lot of money and got one, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to pay an actual realistic price. And anything you buy is worth what it's worth to you, not to anyone else. Is it worth how much it is to you? Anyway, enough waffling about that rubbish. I'm trying to make the point here. Stop going on. I know. Why can't you just get to the point? I know. I will. Here's the point. If you come across something and you think, I'm after that, but not right now, have a little think and think, are you going to come across something like that again? Probably not. Is that exactly what you've been looking for? Yes. Is it the wrong time? Yes. Does that matter? No. Do it. See you later. Right. I'm going to go and play around with that radio some more. Well, I've been playing around with it for, I don't know, it's about an hour now, I suppose. I haven't heard a single dicky bird. I had anyone come back to me yet. So I wondered if it was an issue with the antenna with this, but I went on home base and I haven't heard anybody on there either. So there's obviously just not anyone around within range at the moment. I love the sun, and the sun is great, but when it gets in the way, bloody blimey, I've got all stars in my eyes now. I'm going to go and do a bit of shopping, do some bits and bobs. I'll come back this evening and see if we hear anybody. You never know, there might be someone around then. I know what you're all saying. Just bloody stop being lazy and go out. That's what it's for. I know. I had all intentions yesterday and this morning, but I woke up, went outside, and I was just like, oh, I can't be bothered. It's Bank Holiday Monday, I want to stay home. So anyway, but I wanted to have a go at the radio. Do you know what I mean? It's a tricky catch-22 situation, but never mind. We love life. Okay, let's have a look at this then. So I've got to try and get that shifter off. So before I start drilling things out, I've got this U-Tool. It's called U-Tool. I think Dremel's the more popular one, but this one I've had for bloody donkey's years, and I never use it really. Never really got a use for it. But got a little cutting disc on it. So there's the Allen key that I've got to try and do. I'm going to cut a slot in it. Might cut a little bit of a slot in the shifter itself as well. It's melted a little bit anyway because I melted it with a bit of heat, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to cut a slot in it, see if I can get a flathead screwdriver on it. If I can do that, happy days. If not, I'm going to have to be a bit more destructive, but we'll get there eventually. Sweet. And I've been hunting high and bloody low and I can't find it. The little cassette spanner thing for there. I've looked in my specialty drawer, I've looked everywhere. In fact, I've got two. I know for a fact I've got two. I've got one for 7 to 11 speed, or is it 7 to 10 speed? And one for an 11 speed. Well, that's an 8 speed cassette, so I need to try and find, well, I can't find either of them. They are somewhere. But anyway, I'll worry about that later on. I want to get this off so I can put the new brake handle on, the new brakes. At the moment it's flapping around. I can put that on and have a good time. Where is the new brake handle? Oh, I see it. I knew it was around here somewhere. Yeah. So I can attach that, put the shifter back, put the grips on, then that's all the bars, that's everything done. All I've got to do is change that tyre around because I put it around the wrong way somehow, don't know how. And wiggle around with the calipers, put the cassette on the new back wheel, put the chain on, and we're ready to go for a bit of a ride. But let's sort that out first. There really is, I know I say it all the time, but there really is about a million things I should be doing right now. But I don't like having things unfinished, and I want to just get this buttoned up so I can't lose anything, and it's just there. I should be doing so many other things right now, but it doesn't matter. Let's have a look. Don't know if you can see or not, but let's go. deep enough to get a... Got to go a little bit deeper than that. Not quite deep enough. That should be blooming deep enough now, surely. I don't know what the bloody hell's going on with it. Let's get a smaller one. I think the whole head's come off of it, which I suppose ain't a bad thing, but the trouble is, it needs to come loose. Because it's a grub screw. It ain't a screw or a bolt that's holding it on, it's a grub screw, which goes into the bars, which holds it tight. So it's a case of like, well, I suppose having said that, if the head comes off of it, I suppose then it'll be loose, won't it? Let's have a look. Well, that's bloody good, isn't it? Who makes these things? Who the bloody hell makes it? I don't know. I just don't know. What a load of rubbish. What an absolute load of rubbish that is. Has that gone through at the bars or what? Oh, what bloody hell's going on here? I thought that had gone through to the bars for a minute, but I don't think it has. So, because that would be loose if it did. I think it did that time. I think we just drilled into the bars. But that's not the end of the world. As long as I get this grip off, if I have to buy new bars, I can buy new bars. I won't have to buy new bars for one little hole in it, mind you, but I don't know. Let's get a bit of brute force. It's got to be loose now. What the bloody... Oh, so that's come away from that. Alright, well that's come away from that, look. I should be able to get a pair of pliers on that now and get it out. Hopefully if I can get a pair of pliers on there. Might need a bit of heat though. Huh, that is seized solid. Absolutely seized solid. See if I can do it with a lighter. Heat that up a bit. If not, I'll have to get some more. I'll have to get the big guns out if the little lighter don't do it. Bit of heat on it. I just need to get this off because it's stopping me. I dare say there's many more ways. Better ways, worse ways, different ways. This is the way that I'm doing it. And I don't really care about any other way at the moment. This is just, it's got to come off. There we go. Okay, that's that loose. Grub screw out. That's off, that's off. Let's turn the bike round the right way and get going. Now, I must admit, shut up. I must admit I am I'm not exactly being the most patient today. I've just got so much I need to do in general. I've buggered that up, but I reckon I can still make that work. It's this little ring of a bugger. No, I haven't. The threads are okay in there. Did I go through the bars? Yes, I did go through into the bars. Do I care? No, I don't care, no. But, I don't know whether you can see, but the threads on that, they look okay. And I can always re-tap them anyway, even if they weren't okay. That's probably not going to focus. Even if I did bugger the threads up, I could just re-tap that. But, I think we're going to be able to get... I don't use that one anyway, so it's not the end of the world. I never change gear with that side, so... Right, old brakes are all off now. See you later, Mr. Cable Brake. Hello, hydraulic brake. It goes on there like that. Let's get rid of all that oil. We don't want all that oil on there. 1040. Put that on there. I haven't got any grips yet. I've got some grips. Well, I have got grips. They're just not here. They're somewhere else. So I need to bring them here. Let's put... Where's it gone? There it is. Let's put it on. Look at all, look at all that. I'm going to have to cable tie that to there, so that it stays there, because otherwise it's going to be all flopping around like that. That's where it was bent up in that kit, but once it stays unbent for a little while, it'll be alright. So let's have a look. Oh, that's not the right one, is it? That's for that side. You idiot. You idiot. I wonder why that was a funny shape. This is the one I'm after. See what I mean? I'm in a little bit of a rush. It's not a rush. I'm not rushing, but I've just got stuff which is important that I need to do, but I don't want... I'm fed up with this bike sitting in here, taking up space. I've got bits of it on the bench, bits of it on the other bench. And I just want to get it together, you know, even if it's not totally functional, because I've still got to find that cassette ring tool thing. I've got two of them, I just don't know where they bloody well are. That's what happens, you know, when you're me. That's what happens a lot of the time. You put things in places and you think, oh, that'll be a good place there. Must be safe, that will, and then it never is. Yeah, does that go under it or over it? It goes under it, doesn't it? And the brake goes on top. So I just need to work out. I don't need grips on to work out where I want them. So I can put them there. I can do the brakes up, front and back. Happy days. That should be nice. I'm happy with that. Right, let's get all this together and then, yeah, see what's next. So, although the grub screw for this one was a little bit stripped, I've managed to just nip it up just a little bit, just enough to hold it until I find a new grub screw, because this side was alright. It was just the head on the grub screw was a bit stripped out, but I've nipped it up just a touch, so I should be able to get it out again, hopefully, and I'll find a new grub screw. This side, I'm going to go and try and find just a screw or something to put in there, just for now to hold it, and I think it'll be absolutely fine. But I never use this one anyway, because that's for that one, and I never use it. It's got the wrong numbers on it anyway, but I think they're pretty much in the right place now. We should have, this is my little drawer that I use for RC stuff, you know, model cars. But, you know, there's things like this. This could be absolutely perfect. Might need a slightly bigger one, but we'll see if this one fits in there. If it fits in there and it does up, I know I'll be alright. I'll just use this. There we go. That one wasn't good enough, but I managed to find, come on, one day it will focus on it. There we go. Found one of them. Look, a little bit long, but it was good it was a bit long, because it clamps it on nicely, so it's a bit fatter, but that was good. This little drawer of nuts and bolts, when it comes to RC stuff and anything, not just RC, that's good. As you can see, that's good for bikes now. anything that is, it's always handy to have a drawer full of nuts and bolts. I haven't just got one drawer. This is my little RC drawers thing, see. So these little nuts and bolts really are specific to model cars. I've got loads of jars for cars, like real cars. Now I've got jars full of nuts, bolts, screws that really you'd find on actual full-size cars and vans and motorbikes and things like that. I haven't really got many for bikes because I've never really needed to find nuts and bolts. It's rare, for me at least, maybe not for you, but for me, it's rare that for a push bike, I strip off a nut or a bolt. It's rare. But those little grub screws, I've never taken them out the whole time I've had the bike, which is more than 15 years. I think I worked out I bought it in 2009. So, and it's a 2007 bike. So they're going to be seized in there. Anyway, for now, just to get this hydraulic pipe here to have a bit of shape, I want it to sort of stay like that, not over there. So I've cable tied it to the forks. That should let it get a bit of shape. And then once it's, I'm not going to keep the cable ties on there, obviously. I might have to keep one. I might have to keep them together with a little. You can get little cable tie things that are meant for. Or I could just put a cable tie on it. I don't really care. But you can get actual ones, proper little like clip things. Though you just clip them together. But for now, that's keeping that together. All I need to do is go and get a bit of a spunk on and find the old thing to get the cassette off. And then hopefully my grips will be in stock and I can go and pick my grips up. Or I might just have them delivered, I'm not really sure. Happy days. It's really coming together now. This, I'm going to put these in there. These come in handy. Never ever, I don't know what that's for. It's something that come off the bike, but I don't know what it's for. These are very handy. These come with the new brakes, and they're very handy because if you ever take your calipers off, especially with the hydraulic ones, the cable ones ain't so bad, but the hydraulic ones, it's always handy to put these back in again so that you don't accidentally squeeze the bloody trigger, pull the lever, and you know, your pads will stain a bit and they won't go back on the disc very well. Sometimes they spring out, but it's handy just to put these in again. And this stuff, these are the ones I put on, look, M2 front and rear hydraulic brake system. They're by Clark's. Now, I don't care about anything other than the fact, do they work? And I bought these from Corringham Cycles, the best bike shop. I'm telling you, he knows his stuff, alright? Even if he's not your local shop and you want something, or I'm sure they post, just phone them up, man, and it'll help you no end. Corringham Cycles, there'll be a link to them, to their shop in the description of this video. And no, that's not a sponsor. They've not paid me to do anything, but whenever I find a company, a shop, a product, a brand, anything that I think is good and deserves free advertisement, really, I will do, because that's how things thrive. And that shop, I do it with RC. You've got Active Scale Models for RC. They're in Hockley. I think they've got a sister shop in Kent somewhere, but that one, it's a small independent RC shop. And the same for this Corringham Cycles. They're a small, I don't know if it's family run or whatever it is, but I ain't got a clue. But it's a small shop. They're not a big chain of shops or nothing like that. It's just one, as far as I know, it's just one shop on a high street. So it's important that we support those, because otherwise all the little shops are going to be smothered by the big shops, the big chain ones, you know, like Halfords. They do bikes and that. They charge a fortune. I'm not saying they're not good, but still, they smother the small shops. So we need to be able to keep the small shops alive. And if I find a good one, I'll tell you lot. And if I find a crap one, I'll tell you lot as well. I'll say don't go there. But Corringham Cycles is a very good shop. And they got these on the shelves. You can just go and buy these. It comes with everything you need. These are the old ones. These are not the new ones. These are my old cable brakes. I'm using this box as my box of parts because I haven't got an ice cream tub to put everything in. But it comes with everything you need. It comes with discs. It comes with new discs, new bolts to put the discs on. Obviously comes with the calipers. They're already bled. You don't need to bleed them. You don't need to do anything. All you got to do is put the discs on, put your calipers on, put the handles, the levers on the handlebars, obviously route all your pipes and stuff, and away you go. And they're quite nice looking as well. I quite like them. Obviously I haven't used them yet because I haven't finished the bike, but yeah, they're nice. Haven't got a clue what that's for, whether it's from the crank or from the headset, or that can go in there. Little box of bike parts, Realnik bike stuff. I did have an ice cream tub, but I've outgrown the ice cream tub now, so we got all kinds of things in there. Anyway, this toolbox at one point was my bike toolbox. It was for push bikes. There's still some remnants of that kind of thing. We've got dust caps and, yeah, brake pads and puncture repair kits and that. But it's gradually been taken over now, and I've got air fittings in one bit, and I've got stickers in that drawer and things in that one, and gloves and spanners now. It used to be all just bike stuff, but yeah, it's been overtaken. I haven't got enough space for another box. Anyway, I've got the radios on still. I spoke to some people on that 897 earlier on. I've got it set up outside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make or buy, probably make, a Slim Jim. You know what they are? They're just a piece of wire. You can use a ladder line or whatever. Make an antenna like that. That way I haven't got to lug that great big X30 thingy out with the tripod and everything. I can just take the radio, batteries, and that Slim Jim, what do we call it? Slim Jim is the one. I might not make the exact one, as long as the piece of wire is the correct length. Put a little hook on the end of it. I can throw it up and hook it on a branch or something or another. For 2 meters, it ain't got to be long, is it? For 2 meters, it's got, well, 2 meters. So I think that's what I'll do. Anyway, I'll catch you a lot later on. Thanks for watching. And yeah, it's been a mixture of bikes and radios today, and a few other things. There's so many things I should be doing, but I just wanted to button that up and get that bike so it's together so I don't lose everything. I'll see you later on. All the best. Take care.